Hi, this video will cover searching ECC Library electronic databases for articles that you can use for your assignment. Okay, we are starting at the Article Databases tab of the Bio 246 Research Guide. Just a reminder that there is this database Google Smart Search Tips with great tips for searching the databases. Below here are the ECC Library databases we recommend for this assignment. Databases are collections of newspaper, magazine, and scholarly journal articles that the library subscribes to for you to use. These are not things that you generally find doing a Google search. I am going to demonstrate a search of the library database called Consumer Health Complete from EBSCO. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. Now you may be prompted to log in before you can get to the database. If so, go ahead and do that. Once we get in, we see this is an EBSCO database and we see Consumer Health Complete right there. I am going to show you a search and some search strategies. I'm doing a search for AIDS. And then I'm going to use the Boolean operator OR. And then I'm going to put in acquired. Make sure I spell it correctly. It's immunodeficiency syndrome. And then I'm going to put parentheses around that. And then use the Boolean operator and then put T cells. And what I'm doing with this search is I'm telling the database, search for articles that say AIDS or say acquired immunodeficiency syndrome and say T cells. So either AIDS and T cells or acquired immunodeficiency syndrome and T cells. And that's the language that the database speaks. It likes short words and phrases connected by Boolean operators like or and. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do this search. And we see I get about 4,000 results, which is quite a few, but I can limit my search by coming to the left-hand side over here. And the first thing I always look for in a database is a full text checkbox. So there's one right there. I'm going to check that. That tells the database, just show me articles that ECC Library owns the whole text of. The next thing I'm looking at is publication date. It says the oldest article in my results list is from the year 2000. That may be too old for me. I want to look at more recent research. So I'm going to pull this scroll bar all the way in. I'm going to look at just the last 3 years. You can play around with this to see how many results you can cut out and what the most recent research is if you like. Now I'm down to about 400 results. Another place I can go is look at source types. In this case, it doesn't have it, but sometimes there's an academic journals checkbox, so I can check that just to look at academic journals. Okay, I do see that we do have academic journals in this search coming up. The next thing I do is I just skim these summaries, also known as abstracts, to find out what's the information. Why is this article coming up? And my search terms, you'll notice, are bolded, which can help me determine that. Sometimes I look at the subjects just to get an idea of other keywords I might use to find similar articles. Okay, I always look at what journal does this come from? I know it's an academic journal. This one is called HIV Medicine. Okay, so that makes sense why it would come up. This one is called AIDS Care, and that can give me some clues about the type of information I'm going to get out of that article. This one at the top is called ABNF Journal, but I don't know what that is, so I might Google the title to find out more information about that journal. If an article looks promising, I can go ahead and click on the title to get into the article. Now, as long as I've checked that full text box, there should be a full text link. If you don't see that, go back and check your full text box. To get to the text of the article, I'm going to go ahead and click on this link. And that should bring up the article. This is a fairly typical article. We can see the authors have degrees to their names. They're experts in their areas. We have an abstract or summary at the beginning. We have some suggested keywords that, again, I can use for my keywords. I see charts with data in it, which is fairly typical. And if I scroll all the way down, I see references, and you'll always see that in an academic journal. Okay, if I decide, yes, this article looks promising, I might use it for my assignment. I have some options. Let me move this window over so you can see them. So I can save this to my Google Drive. I can print it out. You probably want to use this print icon or download and save it. You can email it, the article, to yourself. You can use the cite icon to find the MLA citation to use, and you can also use the permalink right here to get back to the article. So that demonstrates a basic search in one of our library databases. You can use the same strategies in any of our databases. If you need any help, please contact ECC Library. We are happy to help, and we want you to be successful.